updates in the emergency state of Ethiopia that is currently taking place right now. Some of the reports that we're going to share with you are what is currently happening in Ethiopia ever since the war broke out. So, one of the latest region that has been affected by this war is the Gambella region. As you guys probably already heard most of the stories, where it started in Tigray and it blasted into a huge mass and spread out to the rest of the region, Afar, Benishangul, and so forth. So here are some of the reports. So the war in Gambella have left everyone either speechless or astonished, especially the civilians of Gambella region. Based on some of the reports from the Ethiopian national media, they said the Gambella regional state government have announced on June 13 about a gunfire exchange between the enemy force and government security forces, which broke out at 6 a.m. in the morning. This is early of dawn as people wake up in Ethiopia local time. So the clashes between the government forces and the joint forces of the Gambella Liberation Front, GLF, and the government's reference to Oromo Liberation Army, OLA. Those two have joined together against the government of Ethiopia and also has been labeled as the terrorist organization group by the Ethiopian parliament. There's been a long history about the Gambella region struggle, so for the government and the casualties on both sides. And you're probably wondering who are these both sides that has been, struggling over power, are mainly Anuak and Nuer. So these two tribes has been going at it with each other for a very long time, and there has been a lot of misleading mass as well to the current situation of what is happening. All civilians are recommended to stay and remain indoors according to the source. There is no movement in town aside from the government military vehicles. This includes where residents cannot go to the bank, they can't get food, everything is completely shut down. And this was just last few days ago, so things have started to calm down a little bit, but it is still a very dangerous zone. And in the voices of the residents that have spoke up on this crisis, they woke up to the heavy sound of gunfire, and which they haven't been able to leave their homes. All they hear is the exchange of gunshots, and they don't know where it is going, where it is coming, and what direction it is leading. The residents of the city have added the armed men were sent in parts of the city and took control of some parts of the city under the armed groups and the seat of the regional president due to the heavy gunfire heard around the office of the regional president. Now, as devastating as most of the graphics images that you'll probably see circulating on social media, there were a lot of injuries, which looks to be a genocide, and about 100 people have been identified to be dead, and they are identified to be the Nuer youth and the Oromo youth. And if you check on social media, even on YouTube, we'll give you a warning. It is very graphic, it is very devastating, and extremely heartbroken to some of these killings that are taking place. In the crossfire, 2 government security forces were killed, and 3 gunmen from the armed force were also killed. Now, this may sound like a complete war zone to a lot of people, which led residents to flee to the woods for the safety of their lives and family. According to the resident and the government forces who tried to carry out the attacks were the members of the federal police and the regional special forces of the current sitting president of Gambella. Now, something that was said by the president, they were overwhelmed by the sudden attack by the armed groups who were well equipped with heavy weapons. As the government forces were outnumbered and notified the federal government immediately, eventually they ran out of bullets and retreated to the police station. So in the final statement, in a current meeting that was held, the regional states, the Gambella Liberation Front Army, and the spokesperson of the Oromo Liberation Army joined an operation in the capital city of Gambella region. The OLA also claimed that its forces were fighting the government forces in two different towns, Dinbidalo and Gimbi in the western part of the Oromo region. Now, in the past 3 days straight, it was very intense, as some of the residents have reported. So most of the villages were taken, and all you hear is gunfires in every area. So, which led to some of the genocides that have taken place. Now, in this statement, which was issued by the government regional government, said government forces were able to reclaim half of the city after the heavy fighting, as the casualties continues between both sides of the majority tribe in Gambella, which is Nuer and Anuak. According to the meeting held by the General Regional State Security Council on June 13, the decision is to give priority focus to illegal and lawlessness force operating in the region in order to address security concerns in the region. The Security Council has also agreed that the development of the Gambella region will not continue unless the shortcomings, both in urban and rural area, were addressed in a short period of time. So these are the updates that are happening currently right now in Gambella. It is, the whole entire Ethiopia is a war. There's a huge effect in every region, and Gambella happened to be one of the latest region that is affected by this war. There is more developing story on what exactly is happening. There's still a lot more to be identified. Exactly who are the rebels that are trying to overthrow the government, and did the government had an intention to create genocide against those rebels as well? Because if you look in the picture, majority of youth that were genocide are the young Nuer and the Oromo youth that were badly brutal in this crossfire. Moving on. So there's a breaking news. Prime Minister is looking to negotiate a peace talk with the Tigrayan leaders at some point eventually. So we'll see how this takes off. And this is a moment that has everyone breathing above the water, especially all Ethiopians in Ethiopia, including the diaspora as well. The Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed spoke for the first time on Tuesday about the possibility of peace negotiation with the Tigrayan rebels. Abiy said the government had created a committee to consider holding negotiations, and these are some of the words of what he said. It is not so simple to conduct negotiations. There is a lot of work to be done before and to commit, and the committee has been set up for it already. The committees will be held by the Deputy Prime Minister, Demike Mekonnen, who also serves as the Foreign Minister, and will draft a report detailing the preconditions for the negotiations, as he said. Now, to take you back to the history a little bit, to remind people how this whole conflict started in Ethiopia. It began in November 2020 when the government sent federal troops into Tigray to startle the TPLF, starting with attacks on army camps. The TPLF had a huge comeback on this battle, retaking Tigray and then expanding into the neighboring regions of Afar and the Amhara region. From there, the fight got more intense in the second half of 2021, reaching to a much larger turmoil. And this is what leads to Ethiopia to where it is at this point. Accounts have emerged since then of mass rapes and massacres during the conflict, with both sides accused of human rights violation. The humanitarian situation dire in Tigray also remains very, very high alert, with the region still without essential services such as electricity, communications, and banking, while only limiting relief supplies to the region. The United Nations Humanitarian Agency reported more than 65,500 tons of food have been shipped to the Tigray capital, Mekelle, via road between April 1st and June 6th, and it still has not been enough to ease some of the famine that is taking place. Now, as the conflict continues, it causes hundreds and thousands of people to a really harsh famine, also displacing more than 2 million and left more than 9 million in need of food aid, according to the United Nations. During the 19 months of war in Tigray, fighting with the federal forces, this has to be done to the indefinite humanitarian crisis that is taking place, paving the way for aid to reach the war battle between Tigray for the first time since the mid-December, since March. Now, with this peace talk taking place, a lot of people are very anxious. They're very anxious in how this peace talk is going to help Ethiopia. Whether it is really going to happen, they will negotiate on something. Many of us are really devastated. This is a huge turmoil. Once the country have recovered, it is a huge recovery, mentally and physically, to the people of Ethiopia to get back to their normal lives, or at least try to start brand new again. So many people are really looking forward to this peace talk as well. And there are some of the backslash from the Tigrayan people, and said that from what Abai told, he said, peace isn't something you hide. We are saying we want peace, and it doesn't mean we are going to do a secret negotiation. He has added, so TPLF said they are ready to take part in the credible, impartial, and principled peace process. But in lashes out of the mediation efforts led by the African Union envoy Olusegun Obasanjo, the former Nigerian president, TPLF leader Debretsion Gebre-Michael also has denounced the silence of the African Union over the war and the atrocities perpetrated by the force ranged against us. So the plan is the revivals to meet in the neighboring country in Nairobi, and it would be hosted by the Kenyan president Uhuru Kenyatta. So despite this positive progress, significant gaps remain to address the vast humanitarian needs in Tigray, primary fuel shortages, and this is what the Tigray has been reporting. So more developing story in how that is going to play out, and will that be a good outcome for Ethiopia? Will this war finally be over? Is it a long war that will continue to be stressed out? And the people are crying out at this moment, we need solutions. So by Ahmed, with a lot of things that is happening in Ethiopia, it is time for the president to take control of every regional stability. Because Ethiopia is known by many tribes and many regional leaders that are fighting over power. So it's all about power and control. And the most heartbreaking, the devastating part is the civilians that are suffering in Ethiopia. So prayers goes to Ethiopia. All right, so with all of the craziness things that are happening around the world and all of the devastating, we also have wonderful news, good updates, things that could lift our mind from all of these chaos that are happening. We have a very special guest that we would like to invite on, and she's going to tell us about her company, her CEO, and what she has coming up here in the local Minneapolis event program. And this lady, she is from Liberia. She has been doing a lot of blogging as well in the Liberian community, and also reporting updates in what's going on in Liberia in her country. So she is basically an advocate for her nation as well. And we love to share stories of our successful African diaspora here on Temple Africa TV on Ellen Yumel Show, to let you guys know that there are progress in certain communities that are happening, and that we should support them. All right, let's invite on our guest, Lydia. She's gonna have to correct me on her name, Yukonji. So she's here with us right now online, and we appreciate your patience for waiting on us. So Lydia, welcome to Temple Africa TV. How are you?
Hello. Thank you so much for having today. I'm really honored to be here. Um, Hi everyone, I'm Lydia Yukonje Yonli. I just go by Lydia Yonli. That's my
Yes,
name.
that's how you pronounce it. All right, Lydia. So I give a little recap about you. So please first introduce yourself, who you are, and what do you do.
Okay, so I am, whenever people asking, like, who am I? I wear so many hats to the point where basically I see myself as a serial entrepreneur. I'm someone who owns multiple businesses and platforms. So I am a mom, I am a wife, I'm a serial entrepreneur. That's me.
Yeah, you definitely have a handful. You have a lot that you are working on. You're one busy woman. So, at least for many years that I have known you, to our audience, me and Lydia, we go way back. She has been very involved in the entertainment business and the community as well. So I got to observe, a little more of who she is. So she's definitely a mother and also a wife as well, and she's also an entrepreneur and a blogger. So that is huge to our successful women's. And we wanted to cover on, you have something coming up. So tell us a little bit more about your company that you have been building, and also some of the things you have been doing in the community as well.
So I am the founder of Chisel Magazine. Chisel Magazine was founded in 2014. It started as just a thought, and then we decided to take it online, create the platforms. We have a website for it, and now we have a whole fashion show for it. So it's been years, but I feel like with each year, that is like a new beginning for the platform. So the platform was created to promote Liberian art and culture, like fashion, entertainment. Um, that was the purpose of the platform. So now, few years after, I feel like we are actually promoting Liberia fashion, entertainment, art, culture.
Um, that's amazing. That's what we have to do, uplift our country. Anytime we have somebody who has a huge platform to represent their nation, we're so proud of you. You're one of the leading example for representing Liberia. So for many of you who have not heard of Gambella magazine, or you're hearing it for the first time, um, it is a platform on social media, including YouTube as well. So anything you'd like to learn about Liberia, including who are the top celebrities, and also the music of Liberia, the fashion of Liberia, is definitely a page to visit. Gambella magazine. And I followed a lot of your pages as well, so a lot of great contents to really observe and learn from as well, even a lot of inspiring story as well. So now, as you mentioned, with the fashion industry where you have pushed more into, tell us a little bit about your event that is coming up, because we know you have a show coming up on June 26th, and it's going to be hosted here in Minneapolis, guys, here in the Twin City. And this event is, there's going to be tremendous fashion designers, different fashion designers from different countries of Africa, and it is represented by Lydia. So tell us a little bit more about that.
The rest of it.
Yeah.
Um, okay, now I can hear you. Okay, so you did say basically you want me to talk about the fashion show.
Yes. So tell us a little bit more about the event coming up, the fashion show, because we recognize the different designers you're going to have in the show. What is the platform? What could people look forward to it? What can we expect from the whole show?
Okay, so I'm just gonna do like a little history of the show. So the Magazine Fashion Week started back in 2019, and you, Namo, you were one of the designers who actually showcased, and since then we've been, rocking it. So the show started because, like the same way I promote entertainment, fashion design, so I thought to myself, okay, if I'm promoting this actor or this actress, this artist, this designer, I should give them a platform to showcase, and that's how the whole
Mm.
came about. So 2019 is when it started. We skipped 2020 because of COVID. 2021 we did the second one, and now this year we have decided to do the third one, June of each year. The last weekend in June is when we always have Chaser Magazine Fashion Week. The first two ones was held in Iowa, and the third one, which is this coming weekend, I'm very excited. It's going to be held in Minneapolis for the very first time, and I'm super excited because I feel like it's a different environment, I really don't know what to expect, but I know that so far the people of Minnesota is responding to the event very, nicely. They're very excited for it. The energy is way different from the previous state I've held the show before. So that's what really exciting for me. What to expect? So we have a lot of diversity within the fashion show. Just being me, I'm all about diversity. My platform promotes all nationality. Though I am Liberian, but I promote other nationality. I promote the human race, basically.
Yeah, you open a platform for other African countries as well.
Yeah, so with that being said, the fashion show this year, we have 8 amazing fashion designers from all walks of life, from different backgrounds, including yourself, Namal. So I'm very excited for that. Yes, I'm very excited for that. And this year is all women. The theme is fusion of beauty. It's all about women empowerment, about women. So it's just something different, it's something different. And I can really give you guys full details. You have to come to the show for you to experience it. It's going to be at the 5 Event Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The tickets are on Eventbrite right now as I speak to you. So, yeah, so far so good. Yeah, that's what's happening. I'm very excited.
Booga, everybody. So far, so good. Make sure you come in your best dress style. I know you already highlighted the transition from Iowa to Minneapolis. So I wanted to touch a little bit on that. The moment I hear you're showcasing in Minnesota, I was so excited. I don't know why, but maybe because yes, Minneapolis does have a huge diversity of Africans. We have a lot of Liberians here. We have a lot of Ethiopians. We have a lot of Somalians. We have a lot of, I'm not sure the other countries, Nigerians, Congolese, you name them all. And, with you bringing this show here to Minneapolis, we appreciate you. Thank you for showing our Minneapolis love. So more events to go out, more for the African community out here as well. And of course, I was only 6 hours away. So, we have a lot of South Sudanese in Iowa. So I'm pretty sure, in case you're disappointed, the show is not happening there. My South Sudanese people, they love to travel. Oh my God, they can drive like more than 6 hours constantly. So we hope to see you guys there, because Minnesota, Iowa, the Rington one. This is like for the whole Midwest. So I appreciate you highlighting on that. And so now to... As you mentioned, so the event is going to take place at 5 Event Center, which is one of the most, extravagant venue here in South Minneapolis. So it's kind of closer to Lake Street and I would say Uptown. Yeah, Lake Street, Uptown. This is where all the college student parties. So it's definitely a good target. And we definitely look forward to a lot of what is to come and what is to expect from the show. Now, moving forward, tell us a little bit about the designers that are going to be showcasing. You said there's going to be about 9 designers. Which are these most countries that are going to be showcasing, and what can we expect? Take us a little bit on that. Give us a sneak peek.
Okay, so I don't want to miss anyone, so I'm just gonna name, off the top of my head. I do have you, and I know you're from. I don't want to miss it.
Yeah, you don't have to say the country. but Nubi collection is definitely gonna be there. Yes, from
Yes,
Ethiopia and South
yes,
Sudan. Mm-hmm.
yes. I have you from Ethiopia. I have a designer from Ghana. I
Mm-hmm.
have a designer from Sudan. I have
Okay.
designers from India. I have designer. That's the countries I can think of
Yes.
top. Yeah, but those are some of the
Well, that's
countries
definitely more than
that.
enough. Yeah, to give us an
Yeah.
idea. So we got more East African. Yes.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, we'll definitely rock it. So East Africa turnout, we have designers from East Africa that are going to be representing their national designs or whatever story they want to represent and things of that nature. Um, so now, as with the Gazelle magazine Fashion Week, this is your third year, I believe, the third annual. Mhm.
Yes.
What do you look forward in the next coming 5 years? Like, where do you see this going?
Ooh, the next 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I think of like the goals for the magazine and the fashion show itself, it gives me chills, because I feel like
Mm.
yeah. So where do I see the magazine fashion show in the next 5 years? Um, with me, basically what I can say is experience is the best teacher. That's one thing I know for sure. So
Amen.
each with different experience comes with new blessing, new opportunity, you know. So I see the show bigger and better because the is to take it to different states and different countries.
Mm-hmm.
So we we're we are trying to explore the world, not just one place. So it's very exciting. The next few years will be very, very, very exciting.
Mm-hmm. Well, we definitely look forward to watch your journey grow. These are some of the wonderful things we look back, where we start and where we lead, where we end up. I mean, entrepreneurship is an endless journey. So we're
Yeah,
very proud of you. Keep pushing, keep going in what you are doing. So the vision reveals in time and time and time again. So
yeah.
we're definitely excited for this show. Now, one last question I always ask my guests.
Thank you.
What can you tell to those that are maybe looking to walk in the same footstep, becoming an entrepreneur, opening events for a community, or even just creating something that is inspiring and uplifting to the community in the near future? What advice can you give them, or what message could you give them in your own perspective? What can we learn from you?
Okay, so the first thing I'll say is you have to be yourself. Um, especially with, especially we live in a world where social media, everybody's doing the similar things. So
Mm.
my advice to you is if you see someone who's doing the same thing as you, do not be discouraged. Like because the way you are gonna do it, that's not how that person's gonna do it. They are
Mm.
not you're not them. That's power. So if you want to do something, go for it. Put your all in it and make sure you're passionate about it. Don't do it because you see someone else doing it. Do it because
Mm.
you're passionate about it and you want to do it. Because if you're doing it because of passion, guess what? Like for example, blogging. When I post an article or a post, if I get one person to like it, that makes me happy. If I
Mm.
get the comment, that makes me happy because I'm doing it for passion. Like that one person got the message. So
Wow.
if you yeah, so if you're doing it because you want people to like bunch of people to come and like and comment, some days there will be nobody to comment on your post. There will be nobody to share. So you
Oh
have
my
to find
God. Yeah.
going. That's what basically that's my advice. Just be yourself, keep going, and those who are meant for you, like to support you, be a part of your journey, they will come to you. Just keep going.
Amen. You said it all. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is so true, because in this generation, people are trying to find what they're good at, and I love that. If you have passion for it, um, great advice. So there you have it, you guys. tell us how people could find you or reach out to you. Share to us all of your platforms and yeah, and how people can follow you.
Okay, so starting with Chiselle Magazine, it is Gisele Magazine. It's on Facebook, it's on Instagram, it's on Twitter. YouTube is GMZ TV. And then our website is chisellemagazine.net. On there, you'll find articles of like just different important news and fashion trends. And then for the fashion show, we have a separate page for that. It's called the GMFW Official, which is Chiselle Magazine Fashion Week Official. That's the Instagram. On Facebook, it is spelled out Chiselle Magazine Fashion Week. You can find us there. But once you find Chiselle Magazine, and you look in our bio, you will see the rest of the pages will just connect you automatically. I mean, once you click on it. For me personally, you can find me at Lydia Yonli on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. That's my personal. And once you find me, I'm always promoting my business. You will always find my business on my pages and my platforms, my personal platforms. So yeah, that's how you can find me. That's how you can find my platforms. And also, before I go, I think this is your last question. Thank you so much for always supporting me, my businesses, my platform, my team. I'm truly grateful. I'm truly honored to have such a woman like you. Number to look at me, a little girl from West Africa, and be so supportive towards me. I really appreciate you so much, and I appreciate this platform for the opportunity. The fashion show link, the ticket link is on Eventbrite. Once you type in Chiselle Magazine Fashion Week, you'll find it, the tickets, everything, all of the information is on Eventbrite. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. We appreciate your time. We appreciate for you coming on, sharing your story with us. These are, people with platform. We want to hear their stories. We want to hear where they're going. And one thing I want to add to you is, Lydia, this is one of the most humble lady you'll ever know. All right. It's very rare to find a lot of humble people who just keep doing their own thing, and still, loves to give back and still shows appreciation to other people, and still, is caring and very generous to other people, but also still a boss lady. So I respect that a lot, and I appreciate that a lot about you. And we can't wait for the whole world to see it. We can't wait for the whole world to continue to recognize who you are and the goodness of your heart and all of the good work you have been doing so far. Now, I follow all your social media platform, from Gazelle Fashion Week to Gazelle Magazine. I've known the name Gazelle Magazine for a very long time, but I never knew who was the one behind it until, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And I was quite impressed. I was very impressed, And, you just keep doing what you're doing. You're not out there to, tell the world, hey, look at this. You're doing what you love. You just keep pushing. And all of your work have spoke on its own. Like, people are discovering it on its own, without, pushing it to the limit, because you're just doing it naturally. And that's one thing I really, really love about you. So definitely, keep doing it, and also follow her personal page too, Lydia Yonkonje. All right. She also does a lot of influencer videos as well. So I watch some of her TikTok dances.
I'm everywhere.
Yeah. And I laugh, so if you really want to have a good laugh, in learning Liberian accents, and some of the dialogues, she's definitely on there. So she's definitely on there. She's a multitask, as she mentioned in the beginning of the interview. Minicast, she's a mother, she's a wife. She's also living her life. She's also uplifting communities and creating opportunities. So we can't wait to see your show. June 26th at 5 Event Center, Gazelle Magazine Fashion Week. So come check out and support these local designers as well, as Newbie Collection will be one of them. So get to learn our African entrepreneurs that are rising up, and we can't wait to see the show. Thank you, Lydia. Thank you for coming on, and we look forward to having you in the near future to share your story as it grows again.
Thank you very, very much. I'm so honored. I'm grateful.
And everyone, have a wonderful weekend.
Nouveau à Minneapolis, Tempo Afrique Travel. Vous voulez voyager? Achetez vos billets d'avion à l'agent de voyage Tempo Afrique Travel. Avec l'agent de voyage Tempo Afrique Travel, pas de problème de connexion, pas de problème de transfert de vol. Avec l'agent de voyage Tempo Afrique Travel, c'est le voyage en toute tranquillité, en toute beauté, de votre maison jusqu'à votre destination. Votre satisfaction est notre plaisir.
Hot mix mixing.
C'est encore Yves Kenao, c'est toujours Yves Kenao qui revient. Cette fois-ci, pour vous dire que Tempo Afrique TV vous offre plus de 4000 chaînes de télévision. Les chaînes européennes, les chaînes américaines, les chaînes asiatiques, les chaînes africaines. À un prix imbattable. À un prix imbattable. Tenez-vous bien. $185 pour 12 mois, inclus le box. Alors, où est-ce que vous pouvez trouver mieux que ça si ce n'est pas sur Tempo Afrique TV? Mesdames, Messieurs, appelez seulement le 612 804 0295 et vous serez servi. Vous serez agréablement surpris de voir plus de 4000 chaînes de télévision rouler sur votre écran comme ça et vous choisissez laquelle vous voulez. Alors mesdames, n'hésitez pas. N'hésitez surtout pas et ne faites pas compter. Prenez votre téléphone, prenez le tout de suite et appelez le 612, le 804, le 02 95. Nous sommes là, ici à Tempo TV, pour rendre votre vie simple et agréable. Alors, saisissez l'occasion. $185 pour toute une année, pour 12 mois, inclus le box. Quoi de mieux que ça?
My whole life, my father told me stories about moving to the United States. He would tell me that his brother, my Uncle George, was already